Can a love story really guarantee a happy ending when it feels like it's paved with, well, just intense emotions and so many unexpected twists and turns?
It's a great question. And today we're looking into Saving Noah by Shandi Boyes.
Exactly. Now, this book, it was originally two separate books, but it's been extensively rewritten into one standalone romance. It does promise that happy ending, that HEA, but getting there, it's definitely an emotional ride.
Absolutely. It's not simple.
And just before we jump in, for those of you who really enjoy exploring these kinds of themes more deeply, you can find AI-powered book analysis over on our YouTube channel, Mindful Moments. It's designed to really spark reflection and critical thinking.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. So our aim today is to unpack the dynamics, the relationships within this book, focusing on, the positive insights and just the engaging way the story is told.
Okay, so it kicks off interestingly, doesn't it? We meet Noah, but through his eyes as he's watching Jacob's current girlfriend, Lola.
Right. And we get Lola described through Noah's initial take: curvy frame, honeycomb hair, that clingy Mavs shirt.
And he immediately slots her into Jacob's, let's say, predictable Barbie doll category. It's quite cynical.
It is a real snap judgment based on Jacob's history. But even then, you see a little bit of Lola's own spirit peek through, right? She gives that glare when she's being stared at, but then kind of smiles and plays along with Jacob.
Yeah, it hints that maybe Noah's first take is a bit too simple, maybe a bit unfair.
And it quickly sets up Noah's role, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's the guy Jacob leans on after breakups. The beers, the boxing.
That whole vicious cycle of Jacob's love life. And Noah's the constant, the reliable friend watching it all happen, maybe keeping his own distance from romance because of it.
Then comes a really key moment. Noah bumps into Emily late at night, just looking for the bathroom.
And the contrast with Lola is so immediate. Emily seems younger, definitely more timid, more reserved.
But Noah's reaction inside his head, it signals this is different. He feels a real spark, something more than just, potential one-night stand.
Yeah, his internal monologue there is quite telling. He clocks her shyness. The conversation's a bit awkward, but he's genuinely drawn in. It's not just physical. There's something about her quietness that intrigues him.
A real connection starting to form. And her introduction, just a simple, "I'm Emily, it was a pleasure to meet you, Noah," seems to stick with him.
It really does. And we see these contrasts play out later, too, from Emily's side. She needs Lola's very all-out style, the fashion, the makeup.
Compared to her own much more low-maintenance routine.
Right. But it's mentioned with this underlying affection, this acceptance, like they appreciate that they're different people.
Which is a nice dynamic. And then we get Emily's first impression of Noah. It's very visual.
Oh, yeah. The messy spiked hair, his chiseled features, tan skin, that hint of a tattoo, the bulging veins. It's a really strong, almost overwhelming visual for her. Kind of mirrors how intensely he noticed her, actually.
That's a good point. It's also interesting how Emily sees Jacob. Despite his, let's call it boisterous and reckless personality, especially when driving.
She sees a gentle soul underneath it all.
Which suggests she's pretty insightful herself. Able to look past the surface stuff, maybe like Noah needs to learn to do with Lola initially.
Definitely. And as things progress, Noah's focus just zeroes in on Emily more and more.
That detail about him preferring his phone, presumably because he's texting her or has her number.
Yeah, preferring his phone over hanging out with his bandmates. That's a huge tell. It really shows a major shift in his priorities. He's hooked.
Then we get that really tense scene with Lola learning to drive. We see it from both Noah's and Emily's perspectives.
Right. Lola's freaking out. Emily's worried sick watching her.
And Noah just snaps into this protective mode.
It's a shared moment of high anxiety, and you feel it kind of subtly knitting Noah and Emily closer together, even though the focus is Lola.
Shared experiences, even the stressful ones, can really build a bond, can't they?
Absolutely. And Noah's protectiveness there, plus him being aware of Emily watching and worrying, it just shows how complex their feelings are already getting.
So after some other tense event, it sounds like it involved water, maybe. Emily sees Noah and she's conflicted. He looks sexy, yet angry.
And Lola's teasing her about how hot Noah is, which probably doesn't help Emily's confusion.
No. And Emily starts having these possessive thoughts about him, even though, they're not actually together.
That possessiveness popping up so early, it really speaks to how intense things are getting for her, how invested she's becoming fast.
Then Noah just leaves, really abruptly, angry. It's such a contrast to how intensely he was staring at her earlier.
It leaves her totally confused. But her first instinct is wanting to smooth things over, to ease his anger.
Which shows her caring side. even when she has no idea what's going on with him.
That consistent care from Emily, even when Noah's being moody or unpredictable, that's really a key part of her character and probably a big reason why their connection keeps growing.
We also get these little hints about Noah's own life, like him always packing his stuff quickly,
Yeah.
wanting to escape his living situation.
Yeah, it suggests there's this underlying unhappiness, maybe something Emily's presence is starting to touch or maybe even heal.
Then we see him with his bandmates, Nick and Isaac, at the club where he works.
And it's a different vibe. Isaac's generous. The club's got this energy. Maybe Noah's starting to appreciate things a bit more, possibly because of Emily.
Could be.
Yeah.
And you have that scene where the older woman is clearly hitting on Noah.
But he couldn't care less. His eyes are completely locked on Emily out on the dance floor.
It's such a clear signal of where his attention really is.
Totally focused. All other possibilities just fade away.
Meanwhile, Emily's watching him too, feeling jealous, but also she knows he's single.
It's that classic early stage dance, isn't it? The attraction, the insecurity, trying to figure things out.
And then Isaac kind of muscles in on Emily on the dance floor.
Which triggers a massive jealous reaction from Noah, that internal thought, blood would be green. Wow.
And he actually steps up. He tells Isaac pretty forcefully that he can't have Emily.
That's a huge moment. Plus, he's completely captivated by how she looks that night. It's possessive, sure, but it feels like it's coming from this really intense, growing attraction.
Definitely a turning point.
Mm-hmm.
He's staking a claim, basically, fueled by jealousy and just being floored by her.
But then, from Emily's perspective, the aftermath is confusing. They kissed earlier, but now she feels rejected by him somehow.
Yeah, she wonders why someone as beautiful as her would get turned away. It shows her own vulnerability, maybe echoes of past hurts, shaping how she sees herself.
It's a good reminder that even after those intense connection moments, doubt can creep right back in.
But then they talk later, and Emily playfully asks if he has a girlfriend.
Leading to that funny exchange about his age and how she, Ura, managed to get into the club underage.
It shows they can actually talk easily, have a bit of banter. There's a definite mutual interest there.
That ability to just be comfortable and playful together, even around slightly awkward stuff, that's a really positive sign for them.
Then Emily thinks about her past, about her ex, Xander, and how she got labeled because of that relationship.
And how important her friends were in supporting her through that. It gives context to her vulnerability.
And she contrasts that past negativity with what she sees in Noah, this cryptic but genuine communication. She finds it refreshing, even if it's not always clear, and even as she kind of misses that super intense stare he gave her earlier.
It suggests she values honesty, realness over slick charm, even if Noah's version is a bit unconventional. It feels healthier than what she dealt with before.
Okay, then there's that chaotic scene at Jacob's house after some fight. Jacob's hurt.
And Noah's immediately furious, protective, even threatening violence on Jacob's behalf.
It shows that fierce loyalty he has, his willingness to defend the people he cares about, which, when channeled right, is a positive thing.
And that protectiveness absolutely extends to Emily. The book makes a point of saying how Noah's respect has boosted her confidence.
A huge contrast to that past relationship where she obviously didn't feel valued like that.
And even though their time together is limited because of schedules, you can tell they both cherish it. It makes every interaction feel more significant.
Noah's possessiveness even shows up with his bandmate, Nick. He's wary of Nick around Emily because of Nick's track record with women.
It really underscores how deep Noah's feelings are getting. He wants to shield her, protect her well-being. He's truly invested.
And Emily shows her caring nature again when she sees Jacob's injuries at Mavs. Her concern isn't just for Noah.
Right, she's empathetic towards the people around her. It shows her capacity for kindness.
Then there's a passionate encounter between them, and the description emphasizes the intensity, but also Noah's careful preparation.
It suggests thoughtfulness, even in their physical intimacy, that it's part of a deeper connection.
Then we get a major piece of Emily's backstory, the trauma of her younger brother Michael's death in a car accident involving her father.
Wow. Okay, that adds a whole other layer. It explains so much about potential vulnerabilities, maybe triggers, things she carries with her. Huge depth added to her character there.
That kind of shared vulnerability, even if it's unspoken at first, can really deepen understanding and empathy between two people. Her past is critical to understanding her now.
Definitely. And after Noah's away for a bit for a meeting about his band, Rise Up, their reunion is described as really tender.
It highlights how strong their bond is, even with time apart and external pressures pulling at them.
And Emily's trust in Noah seems solid, even when this mysterious woman, Crystal, shows up with an old band demo. Emily doesn't seem rattled.
Which suggests a growing faith in him, in their connection. But Noah himself, he still has these mood swings, this guilt underneath, even if the band starts getting successful.
And Emily seems to understand and accept that. She's patient with his complexity.
That's a mature response. Then Rise Up gets considered for a record deal. Huge news.
And Jacob is genuinely supportive, which is great to see. Noah has a flicker of jealousy towards Jacob initially, but it quickly shifts back to their usual playful dynamic.
Shows growth in their friendship, handling potential conflict well. But while Noah's career is potentially taking off, Emily's facing her own stuff. A tough first week of college.
Right, a reminder they both have separate lives and challenges outside the relationship bubble.
So the band's performance for the record label execs at Mavs is coming up. High stakes.
And Mavs, which was maybe intimidating for Emily at first, now feels like home because of the people, because of Noah.
But during that crucial performance, something happens. Emily has a reaction at the bar.
And Noah spots it instantly. Immediate concern, protective instincts kicking right in. He's totally tuned into her.
Which leads to the awful discovery. Emily was drugged. GHB overdose.
And Noah's reaction, that intense anger and protectiveness, it ties directly back to his earlier fear, remember? His reluctance to get involved because he was afraid things would end badly.
Yeah. And in that moment, he internally admits how much he loves her. His worst fears are kind of realized, but his love is undeniable now.
The aftermath is just intense. Emily rushed to the hospital, Noah interacting with someone named Ryan who maybe helped.
And then the news drops. Rise Up got the record deal. But Noah barely even hears it. His entire focus is on Emily.
That prioritization says everything, doesn't it? His career-making moment means nothing compared to her safety. It shows his commitment, loud and clear.
As Emily slowly comes around in the hospital, her first thought is guilt. Did she ruin the band's chances?
Which shows how much she cares about his dreams, but mostly she's just relieved he's there.
And there's that really tender moment where he's trying to reassure her, even though he must be terrified himself.
And she notices blood on his shirt and worries about him. That mutual care, even in crisis, is so central to them.
Even in the hospital, they manage moments of playful intimacy. It shows how deep their comfort and connection is, surviving even this horror.
Then there's talk about Bronte's Peak, their special spot. Noah doesn't want it to become just their hookup spot because Emily had bad experiences there with Sander.
That shows real sensitivity to her past, wanting their connection to be more meaningful than just physical.
And then the confirmation comes. Rise Up definitely got the record deal, which leads to Noah's nervous proposal in the truck.
A huge step, especially after everything they've just been through. And Emily's reaction to his gift of a phone.
Pure joy. And she has her own surprise birthday gift for him. It's all about that mutual thoughtfulness.
They share another intimate, playful moment, highlighting that strong attraction and ease between them.
Then comes a really significant gift from Emily, a replica of his late father's vintage Gibson guitar.
The one that was stolen after Michael's accident. So deeply sentimental.
It shows she truly understands his history, his deepest losses. It's an incredibly profound gesture.
But Noah struggles with it. He eventually decides he can't accept something so expensive.
Which speaks to his integrity, right? And his concern for her, not wanting her to spend like that. It shows responsibility.
We then jump to a cozy Christmas morning at Emily's family home. There's a lighthearted boundary, no sex in her mom's house.
Adds a touch of normalcy and respect for family, even within their intense relationship.
Noah intends to propose properly on Christmas morning, but Emily's having doubts, not about loving him,
but about the timing. She doesn't want him proposing out of obligation or just because it's Christmas. She wants it to be purely from the heart on their own terms.
Which shows her own integrity, her desire for authenticity in their commitment. But then reality bites. A professional meeting.
Yeah, the publicist, Delilah, tells Noah their engagement has to be kept secret for the band's image.
Which, understandably, floors Noah. He's shocked, disagrees completely. External pressures are starting to really intrude.
And then the surprise, his bandmate Nick is also in a secret relationship.
Adds another layer of complexity and secrecy to the band dynamics. Nobody knew.
But despite all this swirling secrecy and pressure, Noah and Emily share a playful moment that just shows how strong and comfortable their actual relationship is underneath it all.
Until the album release. Then comes a tense conversation in the truck. Noah has to break the news about hiding their relationship because of the record deal.
You can imagine Emily's initial distress. But then she shows this incredible understanding and support for his career.
Even agreeing to postpone their marriage, it's a huge sacrifice, really underscores her commitment to him.
Absolutely selfless. So they plan a pre-tour get-together at a cabin, but a phone call between Noah and Emily gets cut short, hinting at more drama.
And it arrives. Nick's girlfriend, Janice, is pregnant and upset about something. Tension flares up.
Leading to an argument where Nick damages Jenny's car. Things are getting volatile within the group.
Then the confirmation. Janice is definitely pregnant with Nick's baby, and surprise, they eloped.
Just adding more personal upheaval right before the tour. It's a pressure cooker.
But Noah and Emily manage to grab some quiet, intimate time at the cabin before everyone else arrives.
It's like their bond is the calm center in the middle of the storm.
But the calm doesn't last. Surprise announcement. Jenny's going into labor.
Early? Chaos ensues. The frantic rush to the hospital.
And then the arrival of baby Jasper. A whole new chapter for Nick and Jenny.
And Noah and Emily are there, visiting them in the hospital, meeting the baby. It's a moment of joy. Maybe gives them ideas about their own future amidst all the band craziness.
Back at Bronte's Peak, their spot, Noah gets ready to confess something.
It turns out to be relatively minor. He admits he was in the black truck that day Jacob was teaching Lola to drive. He hadn't mentioned it before.
But the fact he does mention it shows his commitment now to total honesty, even about small things, building that trust.
Then they get recognized by a fan at a cafe, and Emily's reaction is just supportive and proud. She seems okay with his growing fame.
Until the paparazzi swarm when Noah gets home. It's intense, and Noah immediately shields Emily.
That protective instinct is always there. He hates the intrusion on their life.
There's even a little flicker of playful jealousy from Noah when Emily chats with a female fan.
Just keeps it real, you know? Even solid couples have those moments.
And they have a disagreement about sex, because Noah's exhausted.
Yeah.
But Emily's understanding.
She puts his well-being first, showing that caring, mature side again.
Then things get complicated again. Jacob shows up nervous, holding a gossip article. It claims Noah is in love with some celebrity named Hope Bennett.
Noah is completely baffled, denies it instantly. More external pressure, more misunderstandings fueled by fame.
And Delilah, the publicist, is piling on the pressure about band image, Noah needing to be available for work.
Which clashes hard with Nick needing time with his newborn son. Professional versus personal priorities are really colliding.
And just to add another layer of crazy, Noah's mother makes a public plea for him to contact her. More personal drama spilling into the open.
Then the big twist. Turns out Nick, his bandmate, is the one in the secret, serious relationship.
Yeah.
With Hope Bennett.
Wow. So the gossip wasn't entirely wrong, just aimed at the wrong band member. That explains a lot.
Amidst all this chaos, Noah makes another impulsive move. He asks Emily to marry him, like, right now. Immediately.
His eagerness is palpable, but Emily's more practical, thinking about the circumstances.
Then another huge opportunity lands. Rise Up is asked to fill in for another band, Redemption, on a major concert tour.
Massive career boost potential. But again, the timing. Nick has a newborn. The band's dynamics are already strained.
But Noah talks it through with Emily. He wants her input, treats her like a partner in the decision.
Which is crucial. But the reality of fame hits again paparazzi outside the hospital when they visit Jenny and Nick again. Just relentless.
Noah also has a supportive chat with Nick, talking about juggling the band and fatherhood. Shows good camaraderie despite the pressures.
And then, monumental success. Their single, Surrender Me, hits #1. The album hits #1 too.
It's massive. Everything they worked for.
They celebrate over an excited phone call, sharing that huge win.
At the ensuing press conference, Noah has a prepared statement. He acknowledges Nick's baby, the chart success, but then he surprisingly addresses the Hope Bennett rumor directly.
Denies it flat out. A clear move to shut down speculation and protect his real relationship.
And even with this whirlwind success, he makes time for loving phone calls with Emily, asking about her day, staying connected.
Shows his commitment, despite the crazy schedule. Emily's eagerly waiting for him to come back.
Anticipation building? Only for Jacob to show up instead. With the news, Noah couldn't make it again.
Gut punch. And that's the breaking point for Emily. The constant absence, the broken promises. It's too much.
She makes the incredibly difficult decision to break up with him. It's heartbreaking, but feels almost inevitable given the strain.
Noah is, predictably, devastated. Immediate regret, frantic calls, realizing the massive mistake he's made by letting the career consume everything.
Jacob steps up again, being a supportive friend to Emily through her heartbreak. Noah has to watch from the sidelines, facing his failure.
Emily holds firm, though. Even though she still loves him deeply, she believes the breakup is necessary, maybe even for his own good, certainly for hers. It's an act of self-preservation.
Then comes an intense confrontation. Noah follows her to Jenny's house. He's desperate for forgiveness. She's just raw, vulnerable, so much pain.
But Noah's not giving up. He vows to win her back, whatever it takes. He's determined to fix what he broke.
Just as things couldn't get more complicated, Jenny goes into premature labor again.
Another crisis throws them together. The frantic rush. Supporting Nick and Jenny through Jasper's early birth, it forces them to interact, despite their own issues.
And those tender moments holding baby Jasper. It brings back that shared dream of a future, a family, a hint of reconciliation, perhaps.
But Noah's still dealing with stuff internally. Lingering trauma from those coma dreams mentioned earlier. Even as they start planning a future, those scars are there.
And Emily understands. She reassures him, accepts his vulnerabilities, that compassion is unwavering.
Emily also has her own ambitions now. She wants to become a publicist, bring some integrity to the industry she's seen up close. That's powerful growth.
Yeah, turning her experiences into purpose. So we fast forward. They're together, expecting their own baby.
Emily goes into labor. It's intense, but Noah's right there, fully present, sort of a stark contrast to his earlier absences.
It feels like their journey coming full circle.
And then the moment arrives. Their baby girl is born.
A powerful culmination of everything they've been through. The struggles, the love, the endurance.
The story ends right there, with Noah just overwhelmed by love for his daughter and for Emily. And they have this unspoken understanding about the baby's name.
It signifies that deep connection, that they finally reached their hard-won happy ending. What a journey. It really shows how resilient love can be, how relationships have to evolve under pressure, and just how vital support and understanding are, especially when dealing with past trauma and life's curveballs.
Absolutely. And we've really only scratched the surface of Noah and Emily's whole emotional story here. We definitely encourage you to read Saving Noah to get the full experience.
For sure. It's quite the ride.
And for more discussions like this, exploring books and their themes, do check out our podcasts. So now it's over to you. Please subscribe for more insights like this. Share this discussion if you know someone who loves a complex emotional story, and maybe consider picking up the book the links provided, and it supports the author.
And most importantly,
Keep thinking critically about the narratives we consume, the stories that shape how we understand relationships, love, and life itself.